Welcome back to another solo episode of B2B Growth. If this is your first time listening to one of these episodes, most of our episodes throughout the week are interviews with CEOs, CMOs, VPs of marketing at B2B companies. But on the weekends, I use this time to share some of the things that I'm learning, some of the ways that we're growing as a company. And so hopefully it's helpful for you. My name is James Carberry. I'm one of the co-hosts of B2B Growth, the founder of Sweetfish Media, the company that produces this show. And today I'm going to be talking about a book that I just read. I just got back from a B2B Growth dinner in Seattle, and those flights to these dinners that I've been doing I've been getting a lot of reading in, aka audible listening. And this book is a fascinating book by Celeste Headlee. The title of the book is We Need to Talk: How to Have Conversations That Matter. And I just want to use this episode to share one of my biggest takeaways from this. There are a lot of really tangible takeaways from this book, but the biggest one for me was in when you look at the conversations that you're having on a regular basis, be it with a friend, with a colleague, with your boss, with your employees. Most of the conversations that we have when we're trying to empathize with somebody, if someone's sharing that something happened with their spouse, or they're going through a really tough situation at home or with a coworker, our default response to them is typically shining the spotlight back on ourselves. So we'll talk about a similar issue that we've gone through, or a challenge that we had, and in doing so, we think that we're empathizing with them. We think we're relating to that person, but in reality, we're just shining the spotlight back on us and reorienting the conversation back on ourselves, instead of keeping it focused on the person that chose to share whatever it is they shared with us. Now, obviously, there are times when it's good for the conversation to bring up your experience, but it really that part of the book was really eye-opening for me, because I feel like I do that quite a bit. When someone is opening up to me, they're telling me about something, my default position is exactly what Celeste called out in the book, to talk about yourself and to talk about how, I can relate to that because such and such happened. Well, now the conversation is about us again, and not focused on them. So she said, instead of doing that, be conscious of that and just ask better questions. Dig deeper into the situation. Be curious, instead of defaulting to, let me tell you about this time that something like that happened to me. And so that was a really big takeaway for me. It's something that I think I struggle with. Didn't really recognize it as a struggle before reading that book, but thought it would be helpful to share with this audience, with the folks listening to this, because we're all in the midst of having conversations every single day. And so it was a great book, lots of takeaways. That was the biggest one for me. So I will keep it nice and brief here on this Saturday episode, and go check out the book, Celeste Headlee, We Need to Talk: How to Have Conversations That Matter. That's the title of the book. Listen to it on Audible. You get the physical copy, whatever you need to do, but definitely worth your time. Hopefully this is valuable for you. Thanks a lot.